Hello, my beautiful sisters. Welcome back to another episode of a Sisters Love Podcast. On today's episode of a Sisters Love Podcast, we have a wonderful guest, and her name is Marketta Geiger. And she is going to be on here talking about letting go and letting God. And when I tell you, this is something that you want to hear, I'm going to need you to get your popcorn and get ready because this episode is beautiful. And guess what, guys? It is my first in-person episode. And I think I did good. We had a little hiccups, but best believe it's a listen. You want to listen to it. It is beautiful. It is awesome. But before we dive into all of that, let me introduce myself for those who are new here. Hello, I am Rose Jones, and I am your sister through love. And I am just one woman with one voice trying to use her voice to help other women heal. And if you are a woman who is on her healing journey and you are looking for resources or you're looking for a place to tell your story and you want to be surrounded by supported women, then you are in the right place. I would love for you to be part of our sisterhood. So you just hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. You will never miss an episode of a Sisters Love Podcast.
Welcome to A Sister's Love, the podcast that helps women who are healing by having those deep conversations, giving practical advice and words of encouragement. Come on, let's talk about it.
Today, we have a wonderful guest, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her.
So, yes, my name is Marketta, and I go by Kita May. For a long time, I would not allow people to call me that because only family could call me that. But that's like my nickname. But on social media, you can like catch me with that. And basically, I am a teacher. I am also a home cook that does catering. I also make like graphic tees and tote bags and like glassware. I started a podcast that Rose was on called Kita May Presents Head in the Clouds. And I also started a cooking show called May's Trays Eating for Two with my son Tanner. And we're about to get all of that rolling. And if I forgot anything, I don't know. But matter of fact, let me include this in this last but not the least. I am a woman of God and I love Jesus Christ to the fullest. So yeah, we might be talking about him a lot on his show. But either way, I'm excited.
But she said that, and she is true because the topic today is we're going to be talking about how God plays a part in our healing journey.
Yes.
But before we go into that topic, we're going to go into more of Kita's story and how she welcomed God into her healing.
Oh, yeah. So with that being said, the healing journey. I love this podcast. Let me just say that because it really matters. Like the whole month, the guy has been working on me, letting me know that healing is really important. And we know that it's important. But the part where I welcomed him into the healing journey of my life was when I had a long-term relationship. It's like 7, 8 years, and we were engaged, and but things just wasn't right. And I remember like putting up with stuff with him, and like it wasn't the first time I've been in a relationship that caused me to be like, why am I going through this? But it was the one relationship that really made me wake up and say, I don't want to go through this anymore. Like I'm tired of it. But I had to dig deep and see like what was causing me to be vulnerable and gullible to a relationship that hurts me. And I keep saying, it's fine, it's okay. And then it led back to, being childhood situations and traumas and, like I said, previous relationships. And then the one thing is not valuing who you are and not seeing or speaking life over yourself as who God says you are. Because when you read the Bible and you have a relationship with God, you will see that he speaks so highly of us. Like we're created in his image and he's beautiful. He's wonderful. He sees us as the apple of his eye. And when you're in a relationship and somebody don't look at you like that and they talking down to you and calling out your name and telling you you ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't never gonna be that, and you're like, what? But when you realize that God said no, the total opposite of that, then you're like, well, why am I putting up with this? So that's basically what I had to go through to understand. And what really made me see it was that my son, he was growing up and he kept saying, Mom, why are we going through this? You don't have to go through this. I'm like, Tanner, it's okay. Everything's fine. And he's just like, no, Mom, it's not. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna pray about it. So I'm just praying because God always been in my life, but you have to, what I learned is you have to include him in everything. Like, I don't care if it's your finances, I don't care if it's your new career, your job, whatever, your household, what, grocery shopping. Include him because I'm so sick. Like, I'm telling you, he really knows. Like, he's the planner. So I remember one day I got a wake up call. I moved in with my fiance at the time, and it wasn't right. Like I said, it wasn't right. I knew I shouldn't have moved in, but I did because I didn't want to be where I was. And it just was like, okay, well, this is the next best move. We gonna make the best move the next move our best move. That was my saying. My son was like, how is this the best move? Like, listen, my son is so blunt, and like you would look at him, but the thing is, I know God uses him to get to me since he was a baby. But I'll never forget, I was at the sink looking out the window washing dishes, and I just remember hearing, I know it's the Holy Spirit that was speaking to me, but at the time it was just a voice, and it was like, what if you're in Twilight Zone? And I'm just like, what? Twilight Zone. And you know what the Twilight Zone is? It's like an illusion. Yeah. Like you in a world that you all supposed to be in. Yeah. It's crazy. And I'm just like, but that's how the Holy Spirit spoke to me. Like, what if you in the Twilight Zone? And I was like, and it just snapped, and I started seeing everything for what it was. It was wrong. It was wrong. And it was like, after that, I was like, you know what? I gotta get away. I have to get away. God, I don't want to be here. I'm tired of this. I'm drinking, I'm smoking almost every day. This is not me. But my family think, oh, that's just no, that's not. It's not me. You gotta know that ain't me. Like I said, that's just cute. Yeah. That's not me. I'm hurting. My heart, my mind, my soul, everything is just hurting. I need help. This is a cry for help, but nobody's
saying, because I feel you on that, because you screaming, you crying, you but you don't know, you're doing your actions, your behavior saying that I need help. But people see you as being a strong individual. Yes. And having these big expectations of her, like, she got this. Mm-hmm. We talk about Kita. She's just having fun. She's having fun. Even if she's going a little extra, she deserved that. Yeah, she worked hard, instead of saying, like, hold on, pause. Even though she is working hard, that is a little too much. That's a little too much. Do you not sit down and question, or like, maybe I should have a conversation? And like, that's where that support comes in. Yeah. When you have those people that's really entwined and knowing who you really are, like, and that sit back, like, hold on. Yeah, I need to have a sit down. We need to have a sit down.
And guess what? So I would have sit downs, and I would be sober, and I would just let them know. And like one of my aunts, she would hear me, and she'd be like, Eva, if you're not happy, you know what you got to do. And I'm just like, okay. And then my other aunt will be like, well, that's just, and it's like, but I'm not, I don't like this. And I remember going to his aunts and getting different perspectives. And it was just like, okay, is y'all saying to leave, or is y'all saying stay? Like, because like, and that's what kept me going there, because you go to, like, this is a sisterhood, this is sister love. So you expecting your elders, the women of your family, the women that are over.
I don't know. Let's mention that, because I say this all the time. Everybody think I'm crazy. That's like, I don't no disrespect.
You're not trying to get
no disrespect. But baby girl, your marriage is non-existent. You raised, I say this about my grandmother, because it's like, you raised my mom, and she didn't do a great job raising me, and just telling me to listen to you, and to respect what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. Respectfully, my mom. Yeah. And you're trying to tell me to listen to this, and you're trying to keep me on a path that's not good for me, or where I'm trying to progress, and you're telling me, because I'm your elder, you need to listen to me. I'm sorry. I respect what you're saying, but respectfully, I decided to go a different direction.
Yes. And not only that, your intuition, your instincts. Listen, if you have a relationship with God, He's going to speak to you. And that's what like I said, even just hearing that voice say, what if you're in the Twilight Zone? Regardless of what everybody else was saying, He spoke to me, and He told me, listen, you need to go. But it's like, okay, God, but how? Because now I know it. Like, I knew it then, but I'm brushing it off. But now I know that I know that I know that I know. and I gotta go. So what do I need to do? And I just remember, with my son, and I was praying to God. And I kid you not, I just had smoked some weed. I mean, this is the God. I'm sure this is my testimony. I don't do that no more. Hallelujah. I thank God that He delivered me from drugs and alcohol because that was not me. And like I said, for so long when you're hurting, it starts to become you, but you have to remember that's not me. And I remember being in prayer, and I had my son and we were holding hands. And this man was not home. I was on my couch. And that's why I kept that couch too, because when I tell you that couch, it has a revelation in it. I know when I go on that couch, I can lay on that couch, I receive dreams and all those things, but that's besides the point. Let's get back to it. So when I tell you I'm praying and I'm asking God, to lead us to the place that we need to be, guide us. We don't want to be here anymore. We need your guidance. And it was heartfelt. And then my son, it was two, like, and on the scripture, the word says when there's two or more praying, the presence of God is there. Like when I tell you the faith of us was big, and I got hopped up out my seat so fast. I felt the fire of God just burning through me. I started tearing. I started speaking in tongues in front of my son, like he never seen me do that. And when I tell you, I heard God speaking to me and saying, I'm like, basically he was letting me know that it's time. I'm going to do this. And I'm just hearing it. And he's telling my son, like, raise your hands. And he's speaking through me, but he's telling my son, raise your hands, Tanner, raise your hands. So he raising his hands, and I'm just speaking, and I'm just speaking in tongues. And I know God is speaking through me and letting me know. So when you start speaking in tongues, you're speaking over your life. You're speaking in words that you don't understand, but it's to your Heavenly Father. And he started allowing me to interpret what was happening, which was, I'm about to make room. This path is being cleared. You're about to get out of here. You want it? I've been waiting for you to say this. You was in it. I've been waiting for you to say, I don't want it anymore. And now I can do something. Because a lot of the times we're sitting in that hurt, we're sitting in that pain, and we're just thinking, oh man, this is fine. Like I said, this is fine. It's good. But once we wake up and say, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this pain. I don't want this suffering. I don't want this disease. I don't want that sickness. I don't want that abuse. I don't want it no more. God will step in, and you're talking to Him, and you're speaking the truth. When I tell you, He'll step in, I was crying. I was just like, oh my God, but right, when I tell you 2 weeks, but I got to move on it. I had to apply myself. Because you can't just say you want something and not go after it. Because if I'm saying, listen, you have to. And you have to go for it. Because if He already said, I made the path clear for you to go, it's going to happen. Guess what? It happened. And I was looking for houses. I'm like, not this one, not this one. And even though it's a rental, it was still like my way away from where I needed to be. It was that path. He made it clear. And even so much where I needed him to be the landlord. And I had him write, some stuff. Like, you have to say this. He looked at me like, what? But when I tell you, God will send confusion to your enemies and use them like they will be used for your good. He didn't even realize he was getting me out. Yeah. Listen, when they called him, he said, yeah, he just, I don't know if he said, whatever he said. Either way, he was my landlord and I was out. And when I packed up everything, he's looking at me like, why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to me? Listen, I read him a letter and everything like, man, here you go. And he read it. Listen, I had to go. And when I tell you, but that it don't stop there because of course, we like, well, you know what, God, what if? Because let me tell you this. This is how I know. When God moves you forward and he will give you a vision, He will give you a dream, He will speak something over your life. He showed me my marriage. Imagine I was engaged to this man for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. And so I seen my marriage. I've never dreamt of my marriage this deep. And it's beautiful. And I just seen me and my husband like taking off into the sky. And we was like shooting stars. It was so beautiful. And I just remember like waking up like, oh my God. Okay, so I gotta go work it out with you.
I remember that conversation.
Yo, God was looking at me like, you fool, if you don't move forward with that dream and start trying to go back with it, I know you're trying to. Got you out. I just delivered you out of it. You trying to take this goodness and go back to the old, like,
because we'll create a story that we want to be true. It's like, oh, it was me. Not how we go with, like, if I remove myself from him, he'll see what he's missing and he'll change. And then I get to go back because he understands what he's missing. He'll never want to miss that again. And so you get back, he don't get it. He'll get it. When you're all about that. He'll get it when you're gone, but once you come back, he's like, she's dumb. I got her back. I'm back to my ocean. She know damn well I'm not changing. She know damn well I'm going back to that same BS. And when you do go back and you see that, what I say, I always give it like a 2 week. People, I say so, like, people can only wear their mask for so long.
Yes.
It's too hard for you to act like someone that you're not. Their true colors will truly shine through eventually, because it's easier to be you than to be anybody else.
It is.
So eventually they're like, oh, this is not the person I met. Because that person you met wasn't the person that you
They were not.
That was not them. The person that you're seeing now is the person that they truly are.
The whole time.
So stop falling in love with the person that you think they are. The person that they're showing, even if they was that person. Let me pull it back. Let me pull it back.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, some people can be a specific type of person. And then something can happen to shift that.
Yeah.
To shift that. And now,
but it's always been in them, though.
Yeah.
It still has always been in them.
Yeah.
Because like you said, my thing is with him, he had this mask on.
Yeah.
And he was showing me like he's just a gentleman. He loves me. He wanted to be with me. He told me he wanted to marry me like the same day. I said, sir, I got the ring and everything. Sir, what? Are you sure that ain't the woman before we ring that you're trying to put on my finger now because it ain't work out with her and you want to? And that's another thing. They ain't healed either. So they come on to you with their unhealed mess, and then you still trying to deal with what you're going through. And my thing is, he caught me in a vulnerable moment. I had lost my mom. Let me tell you, I told my mom, I will never be with that man. And my mom was like, well, listen, you keep playing around, you're going to fall the hardest. I said, ain't nobody about to fall for this crazy man. Like, he a creep, mom. And he's talking about he want to marry me. And I'm about to marry this man. Like, all this stuff. And deep down, I knew, like, imagine you knowing it, right? But then when you lose your mom, I lost my mom, and he was there. And you need people to be there for you, and you need support. And it was a mask. Because I remember later on battling grief and bereavement and just a lot of pain, because I think I was just in doubt. And that's a whole nother subject of healing, because when you lose a parent, and it is not fun. But the thing is, you have to dig deeper in God in those moments. And I didn't. I did not. I turned my back on him. Even though God showed me, because the way God worked with me, he speaks to me a lot. And I didn't want to hear him no more. I'm like, God, I don't want to hear you. Like, you hurt me. You took my mom. And I know you told me she was going to be going soon, because I had a dream that she was. But, Lord, this ain't right. This ain't right. And my son, you know that was his girl. Like, why would you do that? But when I tell you, this man came in. And then my dad not around like that. So this man came in, swooped in. After I said, prior to that, I would never. And then even when he proposed to me, I'm like, I knew it was happening. Because when I tell you, when you are spiritual and you are close to God, you will see things. You will hear things. You will know things. Some things that other people won't know. And I felt him about to propose to me. And I remember saying to my assistant at work, I think he's going to propose to me. But yes. Girl,
listen.
Come on.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Because that wasn't me. Like, let's say, religion is the main thing.
It is. But listen, the same conversation, I can see what the conversation was. But having a conversation, he was like, oh, what if I put out, like, don't do it? Because I promise you right now, don't do it. I made it very clear. It's like, listen, I'm in a space where the answer will always be no. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I'm very clear with it. Like, just don't do it, please. Because it's going to put us in a place where you feel betrayed, or you don't feel like I'm just don't give a F about you. But I'm honestly telling you right now, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, because it's not going to be the answer that you perceive.
Mhm.
And I don't want to embarrass you or make you feel less than, because when we're in a situation where your self-esteem and your confidence is not where it needs to be, and you're dependent on me to supply that,
That's a whole nother
yeah, I cannot. And I would not sacrifice me to make sure you're good.
No.
So the answer was, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't
Not
do it.
right now.
Don't do that right now. We have I just popped out.
And so when I tell you, I understand completely what you're saying, because moving forward on the healing journey, like I said, he showed me his face and I seen it and I was like, whoa. And it happened when he put the ring on my finger and he started, like, no, let me back up. I was seeing glimpses of it, but it became heavy. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
When the ring out of my finger, because the man, nobody never cooked for me. So y'all know, ladies, you like, when men cook, you're like, oh, he cooking her. He got me this, he got me that, girl. He be, and that's what I was doing to do, which I had to learn to be celibate. That's a healing process. Listen, we could keep going, but I'm just giving you little snippets of, my healing journey. I had to cut back and, like I said, value myself. And when I tell you, it was like a month, and he picked up my finger. I was like, you gonna cook? He was like, ain't that what I put this on your hand for? I was like, oh, yo, what? That kind of was a point for me, was like, okay, wait, what's going on here? And it wasn't funny because he ain't laugh. And I ain't laugh either. That was not a joke. That was serious. And I was just like, and he did not go cook. So moving forward, I started seeing, like, it was so much. I'm not going to mention everything, but it was so much that happened that just kept pointing me to leave. And I was just like, God, what is going on? And a lot of the times I would ask God to show me something, and he'll show me, and I still say, what type of foolishness is that? If God is showing you your way out, and if you see the door and it says exit here, then you're like, wait, God, I just want to go get one more thing. What type of foolishness is that?
Comfortably uncomfortable.
And guess what? The next time you see that door, maybe a year from then, 2 years from then, you won't see that door. If that opportunity is there. And I never forget, in the Bible, it was this man who wanted to be a disciple of Jesus. And he was, he was asking Jesus, like, I don't sin, which is a lie, because we all sin. I don't care what you do, we sin. And he was telling him, like, I keep all the laws of Moses, I keep the commandments, I don't sin. And just like, okay, well, you know what? Sell all your belongings and then you're going to follow me. And this man he was rich, he had a lot. He walked away from me because he could not let that go. He coveted that. And that is something that we have to learn not to do. I coveted a relationship. I was attached to something that I should have been letting go. God was telling me, just let that go. Just let that go. And you can come with me. Here's the exit right here. Just let that go. I was not ready, because in my mind, there's another thing. You feel like you feel. You feel like, damn, this was it, and I just messed it up. But it was never meant. So you ain't messed up nothing. And the thing is, how God planned it out for you to be. There are people who are seasonal in your life. Some are there for the healing process, and some are there just to show you that you ain't healed all the way. You need to get it together.
It's the and every relationship is purposeful. We have to understand every relationship we have is for a purpose.
Yes, it is.
Like she said, either to aid us or to teach us more about ourselves, to elevate us.
Yes.
And those relationships that's taken away from you is to show you what areas that you still need help in.
Yes.
We still need help in. And we have to understand that. And we were like, oh, it's not a failure. It's not that. It's about embracing learning from every experience. Every experience we have to learn from and evaluate and grow and really move and towards that, instead of just going backwards. We take those failures that we call failures, and then we go within and we blame, we self, and we feel guilt, and we punish ourselves for something that we did great in because we walked away of it. Even though it took 2-3 years took 3 years for us to walk away, but guess what, baby? And you walked out. You finally walked away, and it's okay. It's okay. And then you pat yourself on the shoulders, like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. I'm strong enough now. I'm strong enough now. Because that's what she said. It took her how long to do it because she had the signs, all the signs there, but she couldn't walk away. And we have to be okay with letting people find their time too. We can't push like, oh, that's the biggest thing we have, especially with people that's been in abusive relationships or people that have been through trauma. We're like, that's dumb. Get up.
Like you in the movie. Because so when you in and this is why I say I like that you said that because when I watch the movie, I'll be like this, she's so but then
you can't do this.
You gotta watch your own movie.
Oh no, you never pull up that mirror like
yes. Your life is a movie. Yeah. What would you say? I said this to my cousin. I said because I'm not getting into nobody mess or drama. But it was some mess and drama. And I was like, I said, what would you be saying to yours if that was a movie? You was watching your movie on the screen. What would you be saying to yourself? Mm-hmm. That's the question. And that's the thing. That is a part of healing. Yeah. Because the thing is, like I said, when you, and then not sometimes, like I said, and it's a mental process that you're thinking, it can work. Okay, I don't want to fail. I can work at this, but God is like steady telling you to leave. I have something better for you. Mm-hmm. And I seen what he had better for me. And then I still tried to take it back to the trash can. And God's like, excuse me? Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't cut that out, and then like I tell you, I'm gonna say this. It's so important. I'm gonna say it again. It is so important for you to include God in everything that you do. I don't care if you're going to work on today. Tell God, I need you to be there with me at work today. Will you be there with me? Will you send your angels to, scan the place and make sure that it's safe for me when I walk into that building? And then you just start declaring things over your life and you start prophesying things over your life and saying, I will have a great day today. I will be prosperous on this job or whatever the case may be. And you speak that over your children. You speak that over whatever area is in your life. And God will make sure that he meets you there because you included him in. It's a moment I'm reading this Joshua, the book of Joshua, and it was about how he conquered. God told him basically, Joshua came after Moses. Moses was sent to free the people. Let my people go. Everybody knows that saying, let my people go. And he the one that parted the seas and allowed them to escape. And the Egyptians and all the pharaohs and stuff, they drowned in that water and everything. I did all of that. He did something so miraculous. He did it for them. And when they move forward, when I tell you, they still complain. They said they was hungry, they was thirsty, and they complained. And it was like, we could have just stayed where we was. Can you imagine that? Yeah. I done delivered you out of something. And you saying I could have stayed. And the relationship is the same relationship. Like, they beat you, not free. But you, right? I would have been, listen, meal was coming. That's how they knew they were getting that food. It was called manish, right? Manish. They were eating the manna. God sent that. Yeah, manna. They was like, what is this? And it was good. You know what that is? It's angel food. Yeah. And God blessed them so good that he allowed angels to give their food to them. Mm-hmm. So on those days, guess what? The angels try to split their food in half to make sure that they ate good. That's how much God loves you. He will, give what he has for you, but you complain. And that's like the whole thing. When you go, it's like you, I'm just going to scenario. Like you go to a party and you have all these people there that supporting you. And then you always focus on the people that's not there. Like, why are they blase? This didn't come. They didn't come. It's the mindset. Ignoring everybody that did come and support you. That's the same thing they're doing. They ignored all the blessings that was in front of them. Yes. Because they was lacking, they was worried about the things they didn't have. And God told Moses to tell them that he was going to lead them to the land of milk and honey. Mm-hmm. Do you know they couldn't get there? Yeah. Because they just could not fathom and understand that God strengthened them. And that's how it is. And we can bring it back to our generations before us. They don't get it. They don't understand. But God has given us something. And there's something in us. Like I said, what my parents did, I seen it. God showed me. And that's why I was so afraid of failure. But God was saying, no, it don't matter. You did it. You tried to do it their way. They didn't listen to me. So now I need you to do it my way. Can you listen to me? Because now you have people under you. You have your children and children's children and children's children's children, all of that under you. And they need to see it the right way. So I need you to focus. So moving forward, Joshua, God, some people never made. But God is not a liar, and his word does not come back void. So even my generation before me didn't make it to that milk and honey land of milk and honey promised land. I am. My kids are. And we're going to get there. And that's what happened with Joshua. He led the people and they were so victorious. Guess what? He had one moment where he was disobedient. He felt like, okay, I can do it. I can do it, God. On this day, I got it. I can do it without you. He did not consult with God. He did not confront God and let him know how we're going to do this and pray. And he felt like he got it. Yeah. And we do that too, in relationships and whatever. Oh, I got this. I can do it. But in reality, can you? And guess what? What happened to him? They were defeated. And he questioned, God, you say he got on his knees and praying. God, you say, and people died. That's another thing. People will perish. You have people that's coming up, that's watching you. Yep. You want them to lose their life and their chances of being better because you made a mistake, because you did not count on God and allow him to direct your path and your feet and your mindset and your heart and purify you. But guess what? He went to God and God said, get up, stand up. Because I told you I would be there with you, but you didn't take me with you. You're like, oh. So moving forward, he knew not to do that again. He knew not to be disobedient again. He got the people out of the camp that were disobedient. People, listen, you gotta remove some people out your life. You gotta remove them. They gotta go. Because they're holding on to something that you can't take with you when it's time to go. You can't hold on to those people, to those things that are holding you back. Because God is saying it's time to go forward. And when I tell you in this testimony, if you don't get nothing else, let it go. Let it go and go. Look it, let it go and go. There's things that I had to leave behind in that household when I was with that man. God told me, do not take this. And I was like, but this is mine. And I'm trying to argue with God. But God already said, let it go. Let it go. And leave it and go. When I tell you everything that I lost, it wasn't lost. We always win. God always turned it around for your good, always working it in your favor. And when he gave you grace and mercy, every day when you wake up, it's a chance to get it together, a chance to move into that direction where he wants you to be. So when I tell you everything that I lost, guess what? God replaced it with better and goodness. And when I tell you, you're thinking that this is the best. It's not as much. You cried over the best. It's not. Moving forward, God allowed. I pray and I will God a letter. Try it. Try it sometime. You be writing these many letters. You be writing on write God a letter and watch what happens. Listen, he won't fail you. And when I tell people he's my first husband, he's my bestest friend, he's my father, he's my healer, he's my comforter, he's my deliverer, he's my miracle worker, he's a way maker. I can keep going on with all. He's my son, granddad. Look at it. He is my chastiser. He will get me and whip me into shape, my advisor, all of that. I go to God and know that he's going to speak to me. He's going to give me what I need. I don't care if I don't want to hear it. A lot of times you don't want to hear good stuff. You don't want to hear stuff that's going to help you. But he gives that to me and I'm open up to him to hear it. And now I respond with obedience. Do I always get it right? No, I don't. But that's a path of healing. That's the path of trusting. That's the path of just being in that place of peace. And when I tell you, I went and I met someone that I knew a while ago. I'm like, God put in a path again. And I was like, wait a second. Like, and God was showing me this the one. I said, not this one. God, this is too close to uncomfortability right now. This ain't the one. That's the one. That man, let me tell you, this man, God spoke to that man and basically let him know that I was the one. Years ago, I would have never, ever gave that man a chance. But when I allowed God in my life, when I allowed God in my relationships, this relationship, how about that? He showed me a job. And for me, and I'm not going to be emotional, but for me, it was like, wow, God. You know how when you say you pray for something and then God bring it to you, like you see it all the time, like, okay, we're going to get on our knees again, but God already showed you this time. And then 5 inches tall and you know, exactly what it is. Can we go back into the basics? Can we throw something in the bank account? Can we some inches? Can we get like we need this? It's not the that I had. And here we go with the computer. I said FedEx. Maybe the United States Postal Office. No, I want FedEx. I need listen. But then what? Everything was in a package, but it was packaged not in the way. It was not packaged. Listen, the way that you wanted. I didn't see it. And then duct tape. As time went on, what I kept hearing is grace, grace, mercy, mercy. Give it time. Give it patience. Give it love. Give it joy. You gotta do that. Give it a hug. And it's the man, but I'm saying, yeah, it's a package. And when I tell you, I was just like, okay, God, this is too much because this seemed too much like what I've been through. But God let me know, but I'm in it this time. Yeah, I'm in it. So I don't care what you're saying. You follow what I say? You hear, like how you hear me? You gonna do as I say, and and whatever I say is done. It's already done. I don't care if you try to say I don't want it. It's already done. My husband, show it to the marriage. I'm proud of myself. I've given you grace. You have given him grace. I gave you mercy. Give him mercy. And when I tell you, like I said, God is my friend. So communicate. Be faithful. Don't don't be treating yourself like you're worthless, like you're unvaluable. But this right here, what I'm doing is invaluable. And invaluable means there's no price. There's no the value that you can't even put a price on it because it's greater than all of that. And I was like, okay, God, I hear you. And I love this. And as I gave it time and as I got closer, my son, loving him. And you know, that's a big thing. Big thing. Because we know. And I heard from my friend, she's a prophetess, and she was telling me, like, we went out, me and this man went out, and we went out on a date. But I was mad at him. And I already got my dress. We was going to a sneaker bar, and he already had his stuff. We got the tickets. So he was like, so we're still going. The tickets is done. We're going there. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, you keep, like, but I was so frustrated in there. I am still trying to heal because little things agitate me. But I learned that when those things agitate you, like, it's just something, that's something that you got to work on within you. Because why is that aggravating you? Yeah. It's something in you that you need to get fixed. Because guess what? You should not be that agitated. You should not be that irritated. Oh, just like a little kid, they crying. You that. Why are you so aggravated at that kid being a crybaby? When that's what they're supposed to do. And you probably are crying too. That's the problem. Yeah. Talking about that, not to step off to but I was just saying that to someone the other day. Like I was saying to my sister, I was like, we get upset at people because we see them doing something that we can't do. Yes. So, like you said, like being a crybaby, like why does she get the opportunity to express herself the way she wants to express when I can't? Why does she get that space to be free and I can't? So since I can't go mad, you can't. Shit, so mad. I'm out here yelling. And let's just everybody just because we can't do it. Yeah, just we can't do it. Right with them. If you, and that's if you flip it and you see someone laughing and you mad because they laughing, laugh with them. Give yourself the space to do it. Like if you feel like you want to do it, just do it. Please. Because you just gotta create that safe space for you to actually feel yourself, be vulnerable, and just be that person that you want to be like in that moment. If you're mad, like, and if you can't laugh at that moment or you can't cry, talk to you, see why.
Talk to yourself to see why. Reflect to self. Or talk to God. Like she had talked to God. And it's like, God,
He's going to give you the answer.
Why can I cry? Why sound numb? Why am I able to laugh and enjoy this moment?
And be prepared to see some things that will have flashing back. And it's going to make you cry because that's how my healing journey was. I was spending a lot of time with God, and I still do, alone in my prayer room. And you have to, like you say, create that space, create that time, create those moments to have. Because if you're in a relationship, I create moments for myself. I create moments with God, intentional. I create moments with my man, my fiance. I create moments with my son. I create moments with the children at my school. I create moments with family. I have to allow myself to have that time when I feel like I'm up here and I can feel myself getting like at this level. And I'm like, oh, no, because I haven't been here. And I refuse to go that low. Yesterday, it was a memorial for my uncle. He transitioned. It was a homecoming. And I felt myself being drained. And I still had to make some shirts. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna push through. The whole week, I've been really being a successful girl. I've been prosperous this week. And when you are really over, exerting and overdoing, it's not even overdoing. It's like you have to get to that level. Yeah. So sometimes you have to push yourself. But at the same time, I felt myself being like, oh, girl, you need rest. And I ask God to lead me to that place of rest. Lead me by the still water. Make me lie down in the green pasture. That's Psalm 23. And I was able to lay down last night and I was able to rest and sleep 2 hours. I just needed 2 hours. I woke up I went to rest at like 8. I woke up at 10. Due to my son. Mom, you want to go here? Okay, son. I was like, dang. But when I woke up, the heck was gone. The heaviness was gone. I fully gave it to God. And that's another thing. You have to learn to really give it to God. A lot of us say, okay, I'm giving it to you, God. But you come like, just like this time, you like, okay, bye. And you go home. Yeah.
And it's constantly talking about it, constantly like, oh, and hand it to my God. I'm handing this to you, and that's it. You let it go. You let it go. Instead of come like, God, did you
flip it?
Remember what I asked you yesterday?
And flip it, and that's the thing. So then when you ask them, but the thing is, when I leave, I don't leave God until I know that He gave me peace. I'm not leaving that place. If I'm coming to you and I'm laying it down at your feet or putting it in your hand, I don't care whatever you want to God, because I don't want to get here. So wherever He take it, I'm not leaving. And I'm asking God, I need peace, and I want the fullness. I want the fullness of peace in this life that you are giving me. I want the fullness of joy. I want the full portion. I don't want a little piece. I don't want Him. I want the full, bigger than anything that I know. I want that. And when I tell you, when you speak to God like that, when you speak to Him and tell Him what you want, and that's what you have to start doing. You can't keep saying, well, I don't want this, and I don't know. Tell Him what you want. Yeah. Speak to yourself and say, and then after you give it to God, and He showed you, like I said, He showed me this beautiful marriage. He showed me having children, even though I'm older. A lot of people look at you like, girl, why are you 37? You trying to have kids? Yes, I am, because God told me I was, and I see it, and I'm going to apply myself to it, especially when I get married. Y'all might not see me for a minute, and then I pop out like, oh, girl. Then I'm going again. You see baby for a little bit, I'm going, oh, girl. When I tell you, God will use you for His glory. And it don't matter what you've been through. It don't matter what they said. You have to listen to what He said. And then when you hear what He said to you, you speak that. You read that Bible and you see what did He say to Moses? What did He say to Joshua? What did He say to Adam and Eve? How did they make that mistake? I don't want to make that mistake. God, show me how to not make that same mistake that caused me to be on cursed ground. Like my parents have sinned before me. They have caused the ground that I walk to be cursed. Yep. I'm not cursed. That's what a lot of people think. They think that we're cursed. No, I'm not cursed. But my atmosphere is cursed. So now I have to work around that area and ask God, because you planned it, God. I didn't plan to be here. My parents didn't even plan me to be here. So You want to get tired though. So God, you knew me before I was born. Before when I was in my mother's womb, you knew me before I was in my mother's womb. So what do you want from me? That's a lot of times people think that they can do it. Like I said, Joshua, I got it. I got it. No, you don't. And I don't got it.
We don't ever got it. We just think we know everything. No, I know nothing. I'm
when you have with somebody, I am open, but that's
I'm always searching. I'm always looking. I'm always open. And I learned that when I'm closed off and I think I know everything, nothing get accomplished. Nothing get accomplished. Nothing get explored. I get stuck. You get stuck, and if you're not growing, you're dying. And we need to be open to letting other things and other perspectives in and understanding where we need to go and where we want to be. And if we're not doing that, then maybe yeah.
You're not gonna know what are you doing.
Whatever. Stagnant. We're stuck.
Please.
You're stuck.
Please.
And that's why you get stuck in your
stuck
in your places. Let things happen to you.
Yes, and that's it. A lot of people think because I'm busy and moving, that they're really moving, and you're not. You're still. I heard yesterday in church, you are not a wheel. You a little hamster in a wheel, thinking that you rolling around, but you're still in the same place.
Yeah,
I'm busy. I'm doing something. No, you're not. Yeah,
you make it static. We were the goal is to make electricity, to make something power. Static don't power nothing.
Listen.
The goal is to make electricity. You turn lights on. We need to turn the lights on.
And that's what when I tell you, when I seen what you said about what's your mission. When I tell you God showed me what my mission is in life, and it's to spread the light. It's to spread the light. I am the light, and I know that even if my truth hurts. The truth that God has allowed me to have and to receive through my testimonies, through this life journey, I'm able to say, you know what? There's light in that. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's light. So I say that to say this, bringing it back to everything. When you let go and let God, and it's not cliche, it's really let go and let God. He will bring people to you that can support you. He will bring you around people in a room full of people that you didn't even realize that you could be in, and you're succeeding and you're allowing yourself to expand because no longer are you being stuck in that little wheel that you thought was a world.
Yeah.
And it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. And the bigger picture of it all is not even about you. It's not even about the whatever else that you're doing. It's about what Jesus said for you to do. It's about people that he's telling you to lead and to get out of the darkness and to make it into the light, to make it to the promised land, to get to that milk and honey. Because that's the whole goal. And then the thing is, what people don't understand is they feel like, well, I can do what I want to do now and God gonna forgive me. Yeah, he do, but guess what? He ain't gonna be with you in that sin. He not gonna be with you while you're doing what you want to do. While you think, oh yeah, he don't turn his back. Ain't even saw you. But his mercy, this is what I learned. His mercy is there with you, but his presence ain't there with you. So when you done made it through something, you're like, oh, by the grace of God, no, it's by the mercy of God. His mercy was with you, meaning that's his kindness. And he didn't have to give that to you. But a lot of people take that for granted. So now the point of it all is you thinking, oh, well, when I when I get it together, you'll never get it together if you keep saying when I get it together. Because what if today you passed away and you did not give your life to Jesus Christ? What if tomorrow your grandparents or somebody, your mom, your dad, like I said, when you lose people that's close to you, there's a dark cloud that covers you and it will take you. And then you'll be out of your mind. Yeah, because I was almost there. And I don't understand. And it's like, that movie Get Out when you're in that pit and you falling. I was there. I was there. So I'm on the inside. Like I said, that person I was drinking and smoking, that wasn't me. Something took over my body. It was using my body to do that. Me, I'm on the inside yelling. They can't hear me because he done muzzled and drowned out everything in me. And I did not allow God to be the one that's using this vessel, but I allowed the demons and devils and enemies to use this body, to use this vessel. But I said, not today. When God put me up out, I was like, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I ain't going back. I don't be out there. It's dark, it's lonely. I don't know, like nobody hear me.
Yeah.
They saw that person, they ain't caring. They saying that I'm them and I'm not them with me. And it's so crazy because when I tell you that movie represents so much, and I didn't understand it until when I was out. Look, I say get out when I was out. Then I got it like, oh my God. But it can mean other things. But when I tell you, it was like, oh my God, I felt the slime off of that. Like all the toxins. God bless me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to do some. Like,
Jesus. So you might not have the time. You might not be able to come up out of there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't be wasting time. God give you that moment to say, okay, let me get it together. And when the day comes, you might not have it all the way right, and that's all right. But what did you do in progressing yourself towards the goal that God showed you? And if you don't know your mission in life, if you don't know your purpose in life, and I suggest you get on your knees and ask God, what is it? God showed me that I was a teacher. And I know I was since I was a girl. I know I was, but I had to learn that why I was. And when I tell you I was dreaming, and I was asking God, am I really in my purpose, God? Am I really in my calling? And he was showing me in a dream. It was a big grand tree, like a big grand tree. You don't see these trees often like that, not in Buffalo. And basically, I was in all white, and children, they were wearing clothes, and I think they were dressed in white. And I had a book, and we sat under the tree. And the dream reminded me of like back in the day when that's how school was, you know, the teacher would come, all the children would gather around. So when God showed me that, I was like, oh God, thank you. And then there was another dream when God was showing me, he wrote my name in the book of the Lord. And I was like, oh my God, I was walking and I was waiting. And I'm talking with my anger. I'm like, you know. And they just right there, when I get there, they look and I was like, and I woke up like, God, what did you say? Like, it just excited me because God is letting me know that I'm there. But I still have to apply myself. I still have to make sure that I stay there.
Yeah.
Because you could easily fall down. You could easily fall down. You could work so hard to get to this point, and one false move will make you go that way. But my point is, you don't want to. What you're doing here on earth is supposed to be the same thing that when you get to heaven is what you're doing. So if you making a mark here on earth and you're doing all the things that God is telling you to do, because one thing you don't want to do is be doing all the good deeds, doing all the stuff that you think is good. But in reality, God never told you to do it. And it wasn't your calling. Yeah, you did nice stuff, but did God tell you to do that? Did he say that that was what you're supposed to be doing? Or did you thought, or did you know? So the big thing deal is, there's a lot of people walking around and they're not in their calling, they're not in their purpose, they're not on a mission. You don't know. And they're losing out on time thinking that they self-righteous. So they're thinking, well, I got this. Well, like what we say, you ain't got it. You ain't even got God in it. That's you. That's all you. And it's a big difference. And a lot of times when it's all you, you are empty.
Yeah.
You have nothing
exactly.
to give.
And when this guy, you'll know because there's no resistance. It comes easily. It comes flow. It's like you just wake up and like, what? This just happened? Like, how did it just happen? Like when. Like my biggest thing, like it's still how it works because I know I'm in my calling because God is calling me to support people and to tell my story and for me to be that support system because He's prepared me my whole life for that. And I thought it was a curse. I'm like, why? Why I take care of all these kids? Why help do all this bad shit happen to me? Like, what is it about me that this motherfucker keep following me? And I just can't get away from these people. I can't get away from this trauma, all this stuff. But it was preparing me for this moment today. So I knew what to do when I come in contact with these people that I'm supposed to come in contact with. And even though this is my calling, I am still not the best speaker out here. I'm not the professional speaker, and that still comes with work. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yes, it's your calling, but for you to get to the level that I need you to get to, I need you to work on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm hearing what you guys say.
Yeah.
You know, it's my for me to practice every day. work on my speaking and for me to actually tell my story and for me to be on my healing journey. So yeah, and it's about actually listening to him because it still comes easy to me. Like there's no resistance when it comes to me wanting to talk. Like I don't like, oh my God. Like I still get anxiety. Yeah, me too. Like, but that's like that's a flash.
Getting better. Yeah, getting better. I remember when God first was telling me to start my inspirational post and sharing the word and sharing the wisdom, and I was nervous. I was crying. I said, "What do you mean? I just said, where the people at? Yeah, the people are here. I need you to get on there. You using that?" He told me, he was like, "You need to get posting your pictures. You using that? You saying yourself? Okay." Like that's how I was like, I'm not in that. I'm being it.
It's easier for me in person.
Mhm.
Like in person, I told you when I reached out to him, I said, "Yo, I'm actually excited because I told myself, if you look at my vlog like 2 vlogs ago, I made vlogs like I need to start doing in person interviews." And I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna make that happen." And then you reached out to me, I said, "Look at that. Is that not God?" He's like, "Oh, you said it. You said it. So guess what? You asked for you go."
Definitely answers to people prayers and they are like,
So it's like I need to be more in relation, like more in person and get used to the more in person conversation because the face, the screen, yes, and people can send me, but it's the impact that when you're sitting with somebody, it travels. The message travel much.
it does, it does. And I think the energy, yeah, because you can feel the presence, you can feel the vibes and everything, how people say, but
Yeah,
it's the spirit of God. I like to, feel what it is. And then when you're on the screen, you can, like, depending on the person, you can sense it.
Yeah.
But something about it's just like even with church. You can watch church on the screen all you want.
Yeah.
Yes, you're gonna feel it. If you are spiritual and you are into it and you can catch the Holy Spirit, you're gonna feel it. But it's something about being in the room in presence. It's a whole other takeover. It just hits you differently. And that's why because I'm like, well, I grew up in church all my life, but then I had my breaks in life as well. And then now I'm back fellowship in the church. And the best part is that I enjoyed it. And I felt God moving through. And the thing is, He's moving me in a way where the community and you have that support. So whenever you are going through something, you have people to talk to. And the best part is when you're talking to people that you can trust. Yeah. Because yes, you can trust God. And listen, God done put some people in my business.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Did you tell me something? Oh, yeah.
In my business, like that's the biggest thing.
But I love it though, man, because it lets you know, like, He heard you and He sent somebody to help you. Listen, I'm telling you, like, God is Jesus, like, it's my father, for real. Like, and we be cracking up. People would think I was crazy. Like, I always did like this when I was a little girl, but I didn't even realize that I was doing this. I really thought that I was just like, talking to myself, but I really was talking to God the whole time, and He was talking to me. And like, if I told people, like, yeah, I was thinking imaginary friend, like people say. But no, my imaginary, like I said, God been my friend since I was, yeah, God. I've been praying and talking to Him, like I said, the prayers of my grandparents and the people before me is in me. So it's just like if you were the child or grandchild of Martin Luther King, you think his prayers ain't in you? You think you're not, and if you are not living up to what they're saying, then what are you doing? Because everything, and even though Martin Luther King is not a grandparent of mine, he's still an ancestor of the Black community, and he's still a force to be reckoned with because he did so much for us, and the people before us, the women before us, they did so much for us, and now it's our time to show them, like, yeah, we did this. And we did it with God. And it's like, and the thing is that if they didn't get it right, you get it right. It's your time. The man told, like I tell my son, my parents was really in the mud and still was in the mud but I'm on top of that. Yeah. Yeah. Now you on top of this. Yeah. Okay. Your feet on top of here and you're reaching higher. When your children get on you, they reach a higher. And that's what it's about. We should not be in a, and now, guess what? I'm not in the hood. I'm on a strong foundation called Jesus. That's my strong foundation. So I'm standing on top of that rock. And now I'm not sinking because I have got dirty, but like I said, not that dirty, but I'm dirty. But now I done got up off of it and God done cleansed me with his blood. And I'm on a strong foundation called Jesus. Because he saved me and delivered me and healed me from so much. And I'm still healing. I still keep saying sometimes I have attitude. Sometimes I could be sarcastic. Sometimes I want to curse somebody out. I'm like, why are you doing that to me? You must know that. But no, they do know God. They know I'm a child of yours, and that's how I'm going to behave. Because you want to be like, they just don't know what. But I can't get like that, like, because I'm like, Lord, no, no. Stay in there.
That is perfect. We just hit the cue for us to play our game. Mm-hmm. Thank God I am healing. Yes. And with this game, I'm going to like actually say a scenario, mm-hmm. and you're gonna speak on what it did before you was healing, and what you do now that you're healed. You understand? So we both want to give your response. Okay, you walked into a family gathering and you noticed that everybody acting funny and excluding you. What would you do if you wasn't healed?
If I wasn't healed, I'd be on it. It's like, why you acting like that? Why you acting funny? Like, what I do?
If I wasn't healed, I would like, you know, niggas. Wait, so, look at me, like, you know how much strength it took for me to get here? Mm-hmm. I don't care. You think you just gave me the perfect excuse for me to exit? Goodbye. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm gone. I just here. Ready for me? I don't want to go. For me to be here. You know how hard it is for me to have fun. My KT finally show up. I don't care. Goodbye. And it's only 2 seconds till you leave. You know, for real. Like I see. And now you got us. No, I'm done. Please. So, what would you do on the other hand? On the other hand, yeah. If I really want to come like that, God loves you. Give him that love and mean it. It will be like fake. It will be like because I know that when, like we just talked about, when you acting like that, when you acting funny like that, what's in you that need to be released? Because this hug might deliver you from it. This hug might show you that you get that jelly out your spine. For real. So don't hug it out. Yeah, I ain't hugging nobody. But I was pretty much like, I would just ask them like, hey, what's going on? Did I do something to offend somebody, or is it something going on that I didn't know? And I would just ask the question, and then be open to whatever they have to say and receive it. If I did offend somebody or I did something, and I would receive it and try to work on it moving forward. That's what I would do. The hugs, no. Not yet. Yes. I'm hungry. Before I was like, I'm not giving y'all my energy. Yeah. I'm not giving y'all that. But now, they need it. Yeah. That's why you built me up this morning, God, because you knew that I was going to have to give some of this. Like I said, if I'm here on that morning, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. And that's why, because now that's why ginger. Yeah. Yes. Get beat up. Yeah. I do. I really have to love and love again. Love and love again. It's the main thing. Now, the next question. You recall a time when you act unintentionally, when your actions had unintentionally hurt someone that you care about, leading to feeling guilt and shame? Oh, that definitely has happened before. And I blamed them. And I did not care because like I said before, but using it in a negative way, that's your problem. Why you feel like that? Yeah. That's not right, man. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, bruh, stop. I'm sorry, this is places here because I'm like, stop. Man, the fuck up. Like, say what you like, come on. Like, we acting like they're acting like a little ass kid. Like, come on. I would, that used to be my favorite. Man up. Man up. Say with your chest. Like, they used to like, you're so in me. They was like, yo, you so. They used to call it, I'm very intimidating. Like, you're very fucking intimidating. Like, their voice, like, but that come from me having to man the fuck up. Yeah. So I reflect on what I had to do. Like when somebody hurt me, I'm like, I have to man the fuck up. So I'm telling nigga, sorry. But man up. Like, what you want me to do about it?
Now we healing from that, right? On the flip side of it, I like to talk about it. And I like to take accountability for my actions, especially if you come to me and you tell me that's how I make you feel. I am the one that likes to validate feelings because sometimes you do by accident. Sometimes you like right now, if you feel like I intentionally hurt you, I need you to come to me because that's not my intentions. Before I would do it not knowing it, but then when I realized I did it, it would kind of be like, okay, and why you? But like I said, now my intentions are not to hurt you, and I would not want anyone to feel like that because if you put yourself in their shoes, how does that make you feel when someone did you wrong, and then you're like, dang, okay, and then you like you said, I man up and tell you like this made me feel like this because in the sense that is manning up. Yeah. When somebody tell you their emotions, that's vulnerable state of mind, and a lot of people can do that. So when someone is able to do that, I tell you that's a step forward for them, and then for you to be like, and I feel bad because, like, yeah, how many people do we shoot down? How many people we shoot? You got policies out here. This is how I repent. My Lord, I repent. Yeah, this is really making me think about that. Oh God, I repent for shooting these people down because guess what? They went, Jesus, they done went and did it to somebody else. Yeah. And they done went and felt like we were the reason why they can't open up to me. Jesus. Now that's deep. Yep. And that's why when lack of knowledge, we have the lack of knowledge, you perish. But Lord, I repent from those ways because I know I done shot some people down. And I feel so bad because they probably like, yeah, this is girl named Keita, the reason why I don't trust women now. Huh? Yeah, this girl named Keita, that's why I don't open up the woman now. Huh? I don't like that. God, I repent. And I cancel it. In the mighty name of Jesus, I do not want that spoke on me. Forgive me. Whatever spirit out there that went through that because you can forgive me. I would do the same thing. I would take accountability, but then I would kind of like go a little further in that aspect when it comes to me and see why. How did those behaviors come about within me? Like, how did I ignore the signs, or how am I offended somebody? You know what I'm saying? And try to be more empathetic to them and try to understand their aspect of it more, where understanding like, what is some of your triggers? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did I offend you? Like, what was something in the action I did? And with me knowing that knowledge, try my best not to step on that. Yeah. Step on that landmine for them again. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So, you're hesitant to ask someone for help out of fear of rejection. Listen, I won't. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's been moments where I literally needed help, and I know I needed help, and God knows I needed help, and God put the people in my life I couldn't. I mean, I did not. I won't. I will die. I will. Listen, I won't. Look at I don't. They like, are you? I won't. And the guy put them on it on the hurt, and they really got me like, you did this. Here, if I need a ride home. Walk miles. I watched the car pass by. Like, bro, I don't care. I don't care. Feet bleeding off. No, I care. I don't. I'm fine. Because I want to give you
opportunity to do that, and then don't reject me, and then don't give this to make me feel like.
And that's the thing. And the thing is, and now that goes into like we were just saying, how it's hard for you to open up because someone did that to you. And how you feeling like, dang, I'm not asking nobody now because this person just made, and like, even if it's money, yeah. Because some people will put it in your face and act like, oh, well, I did this for you, I did that. But this is what I learned. When you get something from God, He never make you feel like that. It's a blessing, it's a gift, and you feel joyful, like, wow. And He's gonna look for you to pay it back. When you get something from the devils and the demons and the enemies and people that are trying to use you, they will give it to you, but then be like, okay, what you gonna do for me? Or remember when I did this for you, I need, like, so that was that from your heart, or was that from somewhere in here? Like, yep. Or look at here, because you were trying to get something. Yeah, exactly. Listen, it's bad. It's bad.
Now on the flip side,
Yes. Oh, I have. I definitely have. And I'm not gonna lie. It felt like rejection. But did it allow me to say I would never do it again? No. And the fact is, God put on her heart when I asked Him, because I did, I did money. And I stepped out of my comfort. And He was like, what you need it for? Wait, why do you ask me what I need it for? Because that's none of your business. But in actuality, I was like, oh, never mind. If you can do it, then don't worry about it. And they like looking at me like, and I was like, don't worry. But God put on their heart, like, dang, I should not have asked. But because if someone come out of their way to ask, then they must need it. And that's what I was saying. Like, if I ever ask you for something, that means I need it. I don't ask for no reason. I must be like in dire need, and you were the one that I could trust. There's whenever people ask me something, and I'm like, what? And the way I look at it now is it's an honor. Like, you trust me to do it for you. And then the thing is, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to bring it to your attention. I'm not going to bring it to the next person's attention. There's so many things that I do behind the scenes that people will not know. But it's because it's from the heart. And you may act funny afterwards. But I just feel, yeah, they did, like, they didn't honor their word. And they feel like you feel like you're feeling some type of way. I don't care. I say it's all the time. Once it leaves my hand, it's no longer mine. I never take something out of, I never give something in the intent of receiving back. Know that it may come back, it may not. If it come back, it's a blessing. It was meant for it to be back in my pocket or into my presence. If it wasn't, it wasn't. And it can be with time, that can be with money, that can be with anything. So I just put it out in the world when it comes to leave it on the couch. Yes. Yeah. Like you stay at your husband. Or that couch. Yeah. Jesus. But it's all right. It's all right with you. Yeah. When it comes to help for me though, it's still something hard that I struggle with asking people for help because of that. It's not enough rejection, it's more of my pride. The prideful thing is because I feel like I'm like, I can do this. I can do it. I can do it. I don't need help. I can do it. I can. But why make it harder? Yeah. Why make my life harder by struggling, working all these extra hours or pulling extra work where I can just have that extra person there. So it's a couple of people that I have that can. That I'm okay with. And but sometimes they can be there, but then would you feel like they rejected you if they say I can't do it? No. You know that they couldn't do it. Yeah. And that's the best part about it. And I think that's what gets me. Because if somebody say I can't, and you know that you can rely on them, but then you have certain people in your life that you like one person you know you can't rely on them. Yeah. Because they always ask you for it. Yeah. So you can't because but their time they can give you their time. Yeah. To, like help their investment. Yeah. You gotta know. You gotta balance and know what position they are in. Just don't go ask somebody and got nothing and expect them to find something when they ain't got it. And they look at you like, why are you mad at me? Yeah. Well, you know I ain't got it. Like, and now you got this, you feel rejected or you feel some way when you already knew the situation before you walked into the situation. So be mindful of who you're talking to and people living arrangements or circumstances, even with time and having conversations, that's the point right there. Like, a lot of people like feel like me personally, at one point in time, I used to be people vent machine. Like, you can vent to me. At this stage in my life, you are not allowed to vent to me, because that is you speaking your, and I don't want to say demons, but speaking your negativity. You're taking it off of you and you're putting it on me, and you're expecting me to digest it. And guess what? And I can't. I do it. And this is what I learned, because that was me too. It still is me. Yeah. But just besides now, this is what I know. If you bring your drama to my doorstep, my phone, you ring, and I'm like, hello. Oh my God, I'm like, hold on, wait, what's going on? And then I'm talking to you and you telling me your problems. Let's bring it out. And then guess what? When we get off the phone, that where you want it? On your foot or your hand? Yeah. And you know what they needed, God. And they came to me because maybe they needed me. And that's the thing we have to realize. God will put people in your life. Some people don't know how to go to God with, but you do. Yeah. So God, I'm giving this to you. Handle that. Whether it be their finances, if they have a financial struggle or not, if there's something that I can do in that moment, I will do it. But God, even if I help them in this moment, I still need you to allow them and cause them to be more responsible when you do bless them again. Yeah. You know, stuff like it's, and that's how it is. So I give it, and then the next day, I don't. Yes. Receive. I listen. What if I receive a message? This one, my sister, she always be like this, but I know I always come to her house, and I'm like, girl, this is not new. Like every instance that I have, I always, and I don't mind because I know that God allowed them to be in my life, and they trust me enough to give me this, and I go take to God. And when I tell you, she was telling me about she wanted this house. And she had, you know, in the process, and it's been like a year, almost 2 years, and she's ready for a house and all of this stuff. I'm like, oh my God. And I went to God with it. I said, God, you know, and she's in need of this house. And, you know, she wants to do this for her family. It's not just, you know, for her. She's not being selfish. She wants this for her family. And God, you know, she has, you know, a certain amount of time before she has to do all this other thing. And now can you just bless her and give her what her heart desires and prepare her for this moment that they're increasing? Like I was just telling him everything that she told me. And I even told her, go write a letter. Like I said, write a letter to God. Give it to God. Cry to him. The same way you crying and talking to me, go give that to him. The same way. I don't care how you speak in Spanish or whatever, you give to him and say it. And guess what? He's going to hear you and he's going to answer you. And we both did it basically. And when I tell you, he gave me a dream about her receiving a phone call and saying she like, it was at work, but I know probably wasn't at work. And it turned um, she turned the volume up. I was like, what'd you say? And then it was like, we just want to let you know that we found the house. They accepted your bid, and we're gonna start the closing. And it was like, I'm like, oh my God, listen, and I told you, you know, when I have a dream, and it's real. God showed me something, it's real. And I was just like, oh my God, I said, God, that's so good. I'm in the background. I said, Jesus, because that's the one thing that we have to learn. Even if you don't see it, it's already done. If he showed you it, if you believe it in your heart, it is done. If you want to take this worldwide, it is done. If you pass out and say, I want this to be bigger, Lord. I want to reach different nations. I want to reach different households. I want this to be an actual television on someone's TV, a show. God, I want that. And you see that for yourself. But when I tell you the dream, I went to, and I said, okay, let me get my phone out. Like, I'm like, I just want to tell you this. People like happened that moment, and that's how real it was. And she was just like, oh, but like I said, I'm that person. I'm gonna give it to me, and I'm gonna give it back to you. Good news. I'm gonna take him out of the crazy news that you gave me. But when I come back to you, we're gonna have some good news. We're gonna have some good news. So yeah, I don't mind if they vent to me.
I make them strategize with me though. Like, we're not just gonna sit on this phone and talk about the blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I understand that. We got 5-10 minutes to let it off your chest. We gotta let it off your chest. It's something you just gotta let it off.
Yes.
But now that we let that go, how are we moving forward? How are we about to move forward in this process? If we're gonna go back to the saying yes, then I'm sorry, I cannot be an outlet for you in the future. But if we're moving forward and we're having a strategy, we're gonna use the strategy that we come with as we vent it, no problem there. No problem there. I don't mind strategizing with you. I don't mind being your dump. You're not dump on me. That's what we're not about to do. We're not about to do it. Now, last question.
Yes.
A friend repeatedly gives you unsolicited advice about how you should handle your personal issues.
You know what?
Your business.
Some of this definitely the other word.
Yeah.
I hear everything.
Everything.
Honestly, it's the hit burden too because where did you get that from?
Exactly.
Because like I said, my father speaks to me and he give me that. I can't stand with somebody like, oh, you need to do this and you should do that. Well, are you applying it to your life? They're like, who hit you?
Listen, dude, I hate hip hop. But people be like, go do this. And I'm like, bruh.
I need to see it affecting your life.
Exactly. Listen, especially when it comes to relationships.
Ooh, don't.
Relationships. That's why I know that my relationship history is not perfect. So I would never give a relationship advice. I said my goal as a friend and somebody in a bad relationship is to support them on every decision they make.
Right.
If your decision is to leave, baby girl, I'm there. If your decision is to stay, baby girl, I'm there. I'm gonna support you in whatever decisions you make. I am not here to navigate your decisions because I haven't been able to navigate my own decision in a successful way. So it's no way I'm out here giving advice on something that I 100% know what the hell you're doing.
And everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
This one girl, like I said, when it came to my ex, we were like in the same boat. And I know God put her around me for a reason. I had a dream that I jumped ship because I was on the boat with my ex. And this is why we were still trying to make it work. And I remember saying, okay, I'm about to jump because the boat is shaky, it's about to sink. So I jumped ship across the other side. And the boat that was afloat. But when we were sailing away, I was in my heart like, well, what if? And that was a prophecy for me of leaving and then still thinking about yeah. So basically, I told her she's been in a relationship for a while and I let her know this dream that I had. And I told her, I said, I did go back because I was thinking like just maybe. I said, but it's the same thing like we were saying earlier. It went from him showing his face, we would make up, then he'd show his face a couple months. Then started lessening, it was a month. Then started being a couple weeks. Then it was like the next day. How you just apologize and then you do it back? That's how I knew. That's how I knew. And then with that being said, same situation for her. And I felt bad for her because I know that the advice that I gave her was for her to actually take heed with it. So I'm not giving you, like you said, unsolicited advice, but I'm giving you a wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
It's a big difference. It's advice and wisdom, two different things. Wise up, like how you said, Anna, wise up, because it's a big difference.
It's general knowledge.
Yes.
And then it's your knowledge.
Yes. And it's applied. And my knowledge had to apply for it to become wisdom because I've been through it and I know. And some things are kind of common sense once you've been through it. Mm-hmm. Like how you said, even if you don't know everything about relationship, you know that when you do this one thing, it's gonna lead to that.
Yeah.
That's wisdom.
That's it.
That's how your knowledge was applied and it became wisdom. Mm-hmm. You could say that. Girl, I'm just gonna tell you, if you do that, this is gonna happen. That's not unsolicited advice. That is actually wisdom. And you gotta take heed when you hear wisdom. You gotta know the difference between when it's an opinion, like you said, when it's your knowledge, and then when it's general knowledge, when it's coming from God, when it's coming from the spirit, when it's coming from a demon. You gotta know the difference and have discernment. But the only way that you can have discernment is if you exercise your wisdom. And I tell you, I'm not happy with the decision she made. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm like, girl, I just told you. Like I said, I left that situation and got another moment in my life that at first I was like, and it was weird. But you gotta have that time. It wasn't right away. It was I had time alone. I had time to think. I had time to process, and I had time to start a healing journey. I had time to do that. And if you don't give yourself that moment and you allow that side to come in, oh yeah, you asking for the same thing. Yeah. Because and they gonna be that mask, right? Because I gonna keep allowing you to repeat it, and I don't care what hamster wheel you jumped off and got back home. It's the same hamster wheel. Just here, different color, same different day. The same hamster wheel.
The way I see it, when it comes to those repeated relationships, it's that people like we think that we're in several unhealthy relationships is one. There's one unhealthy relationship that started as a child.
Yes.
It's your relationship with your parents. Whatever relationship you have with your parents will be on repeat.
Yes.
Until you heal it.
Yes.
That connection, that child that you were that lacked support or whatever it is your trauma was at your when you was a child, whatever it was your experience, whatever that is, it will stay on repeat until you heal it, until you address it. And then that's when you'll be able to start to go into a healthier relationship. It's not, oh, this person was abusive relationship, this person abusive. No, it's that relationship. You're gonna keep finding that relationship over and over in the same people. And it's not the people that's the problem. Just say that.
Yeah.
It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you.
And you want it.
You want it. You subconsciously you want it. Yeah. You probably not. It's like you not consciously knowing that you want it because you haven't unlocked it back here.
Yes.
You haven't. Once you unlock that curve, you would know, like, oh, and I was asking for that. I know I was asking for it. I kept going back. Actually, I could actually see those signs. I knew that was a sign, but I intentionally ignored it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I knew something more than what it was.
Yeah.
What I seen, I thought I could do better. I thought I can switch it. I can turn it around. I can switch this person where intentionally that person had nothing to do with it. If you shift if you shift you, then you would be able to navigate the people that you're around. Right. I'm right there, like, yo, I'm definitely for you. Like, I'm definitely for you. But then you position yourself to be the enemy. Yeah, you position yourself to be the enemy. Yeah. And that's becoming between you and your person relationship, your friend relationship, because now it's still an old boy. And now old boy hates your guts.
Oh yeah.
And their goal is to get them to hate you.
Oh yeah.
And your best strategy is to love him. Your best strategy is to love him. Because the more you love, the more they'll get to see him. Like, oh my girl, you don't have no bias. Like I have no bias. It's not my eyes to see, it's your eyes to see. And when I learned to stop doing it, like stop putting things out and just I point this stuff out like, hey, you did good, whatever. I just point out the good stuff. I don't ever go towards like all this negative stuff like that. Someone know me. And when you come to me about it, I'm like, hey, you've seen it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, so it wasn't like I told you so. It was more so like
you've seen it for yourself, and I congratulate you for that. Like I'm proud that you're proud of it. Like that's true. You're like, girl.
Okay, so then I mean, no. So basically, if you knew that, like, because I've been through something like this, and I was around, like my son father, straight cheater.
Yeah. No, I didn't know what you're about to ask me. How you asked me this the other day, but go ahead. The answer is no. I'm not telling you. No, it depends on the person. Okay, let's see. It depends on
if you with somebody else.
It depends on the level of the relationship that I have with this person, the level of friendship, and the person that I'm having the friendship with. It's the person.
It's a girl code. No, it's a girl code.
If you're insecure, and you will flip that on me, that's a no.
Because guess what? And I'm not gonna lie to you. People were telling, like, he was talking to me like they gonna be hating. Basically, he like, you gotta listen. Don't listen to them. They hating and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, sir. I trust you, so I'm trusting them. And when I tell you, he someone told me, like, yeah, I seen him out, blah, 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 blah. I was like, he told me y'all was gonna do that.
Yeah.
He told me y'all was gonna lie on him. And they like, what? Like, it was a whole family friend, like an aunt, like one of my uncle's wife at the time. And I didn't believe her. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. So it can be, but I was young.
On the level of the relationship that I have with you. Like you said, those people that you don't know, you don't know them. If I'm just meeting you for the first time, I'm not going to come and tell you any information like that because I don't know you like that. Yeah. What more am I for you to receive that information from me? Yeah. So if we have a long-term relationship and we're on a different level,
subliminally, like, no, you wouldn't find a way to, like,
I mean drop clues.
Yes.
I would drop clues. Yes. I would drop clues. I'd be like, like maybe like, oh, maybe you should go blase. Hey, have you ever been to blase house? Or have you ever talked to like
so that way they can see.
You can start putting things together. Like, oh, I remember Rose said this and it's like, like it makes you like trigger.
But then my thing is this: when they find out
they had everybody around them,
knew the whole time, that kind of is like building that
animosity.
Yeah, and the trust level too, and respect level. So,
but is it when you know that's go back to knowing who you are? If you know who you are, and you knew in that time in that space that you would never received it, is it right for you to be mad at that person based on your level of where you are when you receive that information, like, or the level of the relationship you have with that person? Do this person really owe me anything? Yeah. Because technically this person knows this person. I'm getting introduced to this person. Their loyalty literally do not lies in me. Like their loyalty lies in this person. So who is that for me to go out their way, even though it's girl code, when they knew this person for how many years? You have to think about the relationship in all aspects of the situation. It is.
It's a touchy topic.
For me, it goes with, if you my chick, you my homegirl, we ride and we die. I'm telling, nigga, you ain't got time running up on them. And that's all. He gonna be mad because I'm running up in place. And I'm like, nigga, what's up? Yeah. Who you? Why you here? All that. Because it was mad time where
she said mad time.
I got phone calls. It was like, yo, you know, blase. I remember he was at the zoo. He was like, it's like, you know, he at the zoo. Where you at? I'm like, I know he at the zoo. Yeah. It was like, yeah, I'm just double checking because he at the zoo with the baby and I don't see you. Why he at the zoo? I'm like, he just taking the baby to the zoo. But they dead ass loyal. Like, listen, we ran up. Like, it's okay. They ran up. So I understand because I would do the same to that person. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
So it's just the level of the relationship.
Yes, definitely.
The amount of trust that we have when it comes to that situation.
Yes, definitely.
So, before we end the podcast today, I would like for you to give a little bit of advice and let them know a little bit about your social media, your website, your podcast, and all the other stuff.
So, you can follow me on all platforms. I like TikTok. I hope they don't ban TikTok. I hope they don't end it because I really just been starting to get in the groove of it, and I'm trying to start my little I ain't gonna say little because I do big things. And I'm trying to start my live cooking show continuation of Make Sure It's Eating for Two on the TikTok live, and then upload it to my YouTube channel. But you can definitely follow me at Keetta May, KETTAMAY. Subscribe to YouTube, same thing. Instagram, Facebook. I'm definitely on these platforms. Some of them I don't post as often, but follow me. If you look appealing and you got something going where we can link up, I will follow back. But definitely be looking out for a book coming from me as well, because I love to write and I love to journal and you know that, Rose, and I love to do poetry and all that stuff. So I'm definitely getting into publishing a book, so that way this can be I'm probably gonna be bigger than Maya Angelou. And I ain't gonna say probably, I am gonna be bigger than Maya Angelou because that's how big my dreams are, and I know God don't fail me. And also, like I said, the cooking show, go catch up on the episodes on my channel on YouTube or 716 Live channel on YouTube. And yeah, get that inspiration. Like, follow me. I don't play about my God. I don't play about Jesus Christ. Like a lot of people say God, but I do big G's and I do JC, and that's what it is. And continue. My advice to you is to continue to search for who you truly are and what you're truly meant to be here on earth. So that way, when you transition into your afterlife to the spirit realm in heaven, that's what you'll still be doing, and that you want to be as close as God as you can be. Like a lot of people don't mind being at his feet. Some people want to be on this level, but how about you get to the highest level? It's about 7 levels. Why wouldn't you want to be on the top level of anything? So even in life on earth, reach that top level, do it with God, and when you transition into heaven, you'll still be on that top level doing it with God. That's all I can really say. And make sure you got that peace and that joy in you, because that's how you're going to be able to get through this life. You can't do it with the anger. You can't do it holding grudges, and you can't do it unhealed. You have to heal and be delivered and saved and sanctified in the Holy Ghost. But I love you dearly, but God loves you more. Stay blessed. God got us.
Well, thank you so much
Yes.
for being a guest
Thank
and
you.
being my first
Yay!
in-person guest. And guys, look at this shirt is the one that she
And
made this shirt.
I made another one for you.
And we about to look at this.
Come on.
And we about to pull it out.
I put some different colors in there.
Because I ain't gonna wear this one for my next
Come
episode.
on.
Woo! Look at the back.
Yeah. Look at that healing.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm wearing this. Listen, I be trying to wear them every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just brand. You know, they said wear you. So
yes, of course.
It, so, yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed day. Well, that's it for today's episode of a Sisters Love podcast. But before you go, I would like to invite you to our new support group called Sista, Let's Heal Together. And inside this group, we have so many healing resources. We have resources to help you on your healing journey, your self-love journey. We have some of the podcast guests that's come here to give us advice. Some of the experts will be in the group to help answer some questions. We have so many resources, so many beautiful women in there to help you on your journey. Remind you, this is new. We just moved from Mighty Network onto Facebook because I wanted to have a bigger network. So the group is still new. So I would love for you to come in and join our sisterhood and be part of this healing journey, and let us support you in any way that you need supported. So if you're interested in being part of this support group, all you have to do is click the link below and join the group. It's on Facebook, or you can look it up on Facebook called Sista, Let's Heal Together. But until then, until I see you in the group, I'll see you next episode. Bye. Signing out, your sister through love.